I am Yinka Salad Akinterewa, graduate of physics from the University of Calabar in 1981. As for now, I am into various things. One, I'm a politician. Two, I do some farming. Effectively, I am into advertising and public relations. While on the leisure side, I run the Premier Butcher, a goat meat and cow meat distribution service farm. And my teaching days in CMS days took quite a chunk of time. I think I joined in 84 and I left in 89, about 4 or 5 years. I was there. Very interesting time, sincerely speaking. I enjoyed my stay in CMS Grammar School. I taught physics, particularly I taught physics. I was employed to teach physics, but just like I said, I don't enjoy being lazy. Maybe that's why even here in Ondo State, I'm into farming, I'm into politics, I'm into advertising and public relations. As presently, I run the FS Anti-Advertising Limited. And when that one was not even challenging enough, I went into selling of meat. But you can't see my meat in the market because Premier Butcher's meat goes online. Before we know it, it's all sold out. So that tells you, that's why I felt that I taught physics in the school. I took time off to step into mathematics, to step into physics at the O level, because the physics at the HSC level is slightly different from what it is at the O level. In a nutshell, I taught physics during my stay in CMS Grammar School. When I joined the teaching service in CMS Grammar School, when there was no physics teacher at all, there was just none within the vicinity. I remember vividly that it was by coincidence that I met the principal of CMS, then the late Shifolowu, and we met at the teaching at the Ministry of Education, I think the local government section of it in Maryland. And he heard that I was a physics teacher. And he said, my mama in Lolenyo, and the people were wondering. But as God will have it, a good chunk of them were students of CMS, and they hit to the request of Chief Olowu, and today it is history. Well, I walked into the school and I discovered there was no timetable for physics throughout the whole classes. There was an HSC class, HSC 1 and HSC 2, and I was posted there. There were no students. I was wondering, will I be teaching HSC 1 and HSC 2 where there are no students? So I started to find work for myself. Agility was one of the things we learned in school those good old days. And I walked into some classes from 5, from 4. And I just say, what do you have now? And they say it is maths. And I said, if it's maths, then let's talk maths. What was your teacher taught you in maths? They will say trigonometry. Okay, let's go into teaching trigonometry. Along the line, that was how I made sure I engaged myself until there were people who were absorbed into the HSC class for sciences. And at that level, teaching had now become a way of life. I come into school, I get to my laboratory, which was my classroom then, and I discovered it was not time for my duty. I walked into any of the Form 4 and Form 5 class, and here I go. I became known for such activities. Once they see me coming around, they will, it's a class one mine, but is it coming my way or not? But I enjoyed it. It was fun teaching in CMS. Strictly boys' school, very strange to me, but what can we do? It was my good start in education or in teaching. Now I took it up with all the zeal I had. Again, my dad did not particularly love my going into teaching, but what will we do? I had a physics, he wanted an engineer. I quite could not turn my physics into engineering, but I did the best I could. He was satisfied that I was into teaching. I made a lot of friends, teachers, the principals. If Olowu, who was then the principal, was rather very, very impressed with me. I think I tried my best. I did well. I did well without wanting to flatter myself. I think I did well. I will always remember the time I went for the interview, and the first question somebody asked me during the interview was, how will you show to students when you get to a class and say you are the physics teacher without saying anything? I said, if I get to them and I say good afternoon, and I throw a chalk at somebody, and I says, and I said, that's what we call action and reaction. They are equal and opposite. That is what we have come to learn today, and that is physics. Join me as I take you all around the world of physics. I think some of the students enjoyed my way of introducing myself, and today I still remember some of them with a whole lot of good memories. That's CMS Grammar School for me. Yes. I will always remember some of my few colleagues. Particularly, let's talk about the students. I remember Kunle Ogunremi, very fantastic young guy. He loves physics, he loves mathematics. I don't think the man knows too much about English, and he has a lot of problems there. But since he knows maths and physics, I think he became one of my very good boys, and we tagged along for a long time. I remember we played Scrabble in the physics lab most times when we are off duty. We play Scrabble to a level where when you see me and some of the teachers, even in the as late as 6, 7, those good old days, we are in the physics lab playing Scrabble. It is one of those things I will enjoy. The camaraderie was very interesting. When Mr. Edema, the then new principal, came after, I think he came after Chief Olu, and he discovered we are that playful. He wanted to be part of us, but we were younger folks. But one thing that will never leave me is the fact that CMS Grammar School students, old students this time around, enjoy making sure that whoever becomes the principal of the school is an old student of the school. That seems very remarkable to me, very challenging. So it becomes compulsory that whoever becomes the principal, being an old student, will not want the legacy to die down. I think I commend the old boys for doing that type of. For now, I don't know if it is on, but I wish they should keep it up someday soon. I mentioned Kunle Ogunremi. I remember one Anjorin. I can't remember his first name now. It's been a long time, talking about 40 years back. It's when I breezed into them at parties at one of these various different events that I started, your face looks familiar. And says it's so and so. That was the beginning of memory recall. I remember again, I was in a party in Ado Ekiti and I saw this young man moving up and down, wondering, can it be me? Can it not be me? Will it be me? At the stage, he had the God to come and introduce himself. I think it was one Ademakinwa, I can't recollect fully now. And he said, are you Mr. Yinka Salat? And I said, yes. I said, he carried me. He locked arms with me. We chat. I said, who is he? He said, he's a medical doctor now in South Africa. That he is the first son of the man whose burial ceremony was taking place. And he said, but for my teaching in physics, he would not have become a medical doctor. I was very proud. It made me proud. I became a special guest suddenly. And people around wondering, but then, that is the benefit of teachers. Yes, before I left, the school was divided into 10 other schools. I remember vividly. I miss the fact that the big school where we taught became little scattered bits of schools. Ojai Crowder, CMS Girls, little schools like that. I can't remember their names fully now. But I miss the fact that you can't go from one end to the other, to the other without meeting non-CMS Grammar School students. They were all becoming a mixed junk of various colors. Those good old days, it was pure white and pure white. The CMS boys were obviously very visible. I miss such camaraderie. I won't say yes. But I will say of the fact that I could not lay claim to being the HSC teacher alone. Without wanting to flatter myself, I was one of these teachers who permeated all the classes from Form 4 to HSC 2. I endeavored to be visible, making impact in their lives. I remember people bringing yams. Issue, come on, my coach, you have fun teacher. It was very, very odd those days, but I was flabbergasted. I quite can't remember a student who I would say, Ogba D or Ogba A, but I will tell you, students under my tutelage those good old days, they didn't fail to enjoy physics as a subject, particularly the sciences. In fact, I got to a stage I formed science extra, wanting to do coaching, maths, physics, chemistry, plus English. The extra was English, maths, physics, and I was trying to say, let some of our teachers engage them in maths, let some engage them in chemistry. Particularly, somebody went into chemistry for us then, Feyi Dinyo, a very good schoolmate of mine. I hear he's in Lagos. They are doing well in the security industry. We were all good friends. Can't remember some of our teachers. Make, Kayode Awotile. Remember so many of them. I remember Dupe was her name. No, can't remember again. Forgive me. But I remember the old folks. I want Mr. Odulaja and the likes. I remember one Ghanaian where we're all building good relationships together then. I hope sometimes such times could be revisited in one's life. I want to put that question straight because a thing can't be wonderful and bad. Maybe, okay, let's see what was my wonderful moment. My wonderful moment, will I say one? Had quite some chunk of wonderful times. Had good relationships with the principal. Maybe probably there were no physics teachers around. I was not just easy to send one away. I was involved in the landscaping, gardening, little gardening around the principal's office and the staff room. And just I remember it was fun going into gardening again. One of my very bad moments, the only one I had then was I got involved in the admission of a student who I thought deserves to be given admission for, but he had some deformity. We are there to admit him, we have admitted him, the principal assigned. He quite did not know his deformity. And I think the first day they saw the guy in school say, I ran away like a bullet. The teacher who was involved in admission too ran away because, but unfortunately, the principal had signed, and we had to come out and face the firing squad, which was no longer forthcoming. He had accepted the student was worthy of joining the community of students in CMS Grammar School. But it was a very big embarrassment. I think those two were that one was a very bad one. I didn't quite like the embarrassment. I think the wonderful things overshadowed the embarrassment, and I enjoyed my stay there. CMS Grammar School song. CMS Grammar School song. Well, again, I want to be realistic. I faced this interview with a whole lot of honesty. So when I saw the questionnaire, I could have gone to Google the school song and now ask and cram it offhand. I just feel, what must I go to that level? One, I was not an old student. I was a teacher. The teacher in 5 years to have memories of such school anthems, which I did. I remember it was very inspirational. The tune was very something had been made here. And dun, 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 dun. Very good lyrics. And the mention of up school, up so. I remember it was very inspirational. It brings back or awakens some consciousness of let me believe in my school. I remember some of the wordings, but I didn't bother to go cracking my brain, checking what the wordings are now. It's been a long time. But whoever wrote that school song, kudos to him. Again, the times have changed. When one of my students called me today and I say, when I even first hear on phone, I felt I wanted today come with their usual jokes and pranks. I insisted, so something has happened. I was a teacher in the school and I've been chosen out, outstanding, wherever. I still feel this is not what I want for now. As at that time, we were in the heat of politics. We were campaigning for who becomes governor in Ondo State for year 2024, and I just told the young man I will talk along the line. I'm very busy now. And he didn't quite like it. I think he went hunting for my siblings, and he got one of them to reaffirm that he's not a liar. He's being frank. Those good old days when you hear you have get such a award, you jump up for joy. But now you must be very skeptical. You must be very sure these things are true, that you are not just being taken for a ride. And teaching is what I've left for how many years now? When 89, 90? I went into advertising, I think, in 1991. So when you now talk to me about 40 years profession that I had left, I say I was remembered. I will just, in the interest of peace. But again, after some time, he sent me some text, and I start to see some reality in what he's saying. Outstanding teacher, wonderful. Did I do such a thing those days? Well, again, let's leave posterity to judge everybody. I never knew a day like this would come when I will be remembered for any award. I was doing what I know I was enjoying. I was practically enjoying teaching then. I was doing it with all my zeal. I just left school, still bubbling with a lot of energy. How many questions can I answer? But if I look at Nelson and Parker again, I will refresh in my brain and we are back to work. I'm rather very glad that I was remembered for this award. 165 is a big year. There's a lot of generations, a whole chunk of generations. Even if you call generations to be 50, then we have gone 2-3 generations. If you think it is 60, then we are close to 3 generations again. But at 165, CMS Grammar School has left an indelible impact. Its name, the name of the school, rings bell in the minds of people who are conscious of education. In Lagos, I'm not too sure now, but I know CMS Grammar School will be one of the very top 5 secondary schools in Nigeria. And today, we can comfortably say CMS Grammar School has come to stay. And just like I said, maybe it is because of the mentality of making old students become the principal of the school. And if it is not, then let's give kudos to those who have managed the school up till now. Someday soon, I hope to write a story on what my lifestyle in CMS Grammar School was all about. Very interesting. Sometimes very riotous, but very pleasant. The boys are there for me. I was there for the boys. Greetings to them all someday.